For me, the positively oriented person, the person who screams that everything is going to be fine, for me, it's a very desperate person. It's their way of and imposing this perspective of others. So their way of either dealing with suffering that they recognize, trying to escape from it, but still dealing with it in their escape, or taking care of the other. That's what we would say to our children, that everything is going to be fine, because we know it won't. That's the horrible. That's why we're saying it. So kind of the positive psychology is also negative in this way. They just don't recognize it. They just one of the ways of at the same time not recognizing it, but also recognizing it. Because we say the most positive things we say when the most horrible things are happening. Or instance when everyone starts to believe in God suddenly. That's something like it. So it's quite negative in this way. Maybe sometimes in certain instances more negative than negative project that I'm leading.
Yeah. So when you think about the contemporary vocabulary of resilience and mindfulness, how do you see that?
Well, it personally irritates me, but I also see it as a necessary tragic act of care. That's how I tolerate it. But at the same time, I know that there is a demand for certain people not to articulate it, and certain people who wouldn't accept it, who would see it as a lie and as something that is not genuine, and they just they would require a different type of care, like teenagers, for example, who are very resistant to positive psychology, who just doesn't work on them, and it's more like um, conversion into something like it used to be with religion. Now it was this perspective. So those people would require less lies, or maybe different form of lies. It just for people, what I'm doing, maybe for people who are irritated by this form of lies.
On your website, you have a page with a list of certified negative practitioners, and you're part of a discipline now that is grounded in negative practice. Can you give some insight into how that is and how that has come together and what sort of work is happening on that front?
Yeah, I'm trying. What I'm trying to practice is negative practice, and I also have people who who are certified by me to be negative practitioners. But the thing is that ultimately, this project is supposed to be a failed project, because the negative practice is as such impossible, because all the projects are salvational projects by definition. They aim to improve or aim to offer something better. So maybe the only way for it exists is in the form of failure. Or also, it's interesting with the certificates, they're also I state on those certificates that they're completely useless. So the idea is to resist to a certain extent, where of course it's impossible to completely resist it. It still ends up or gets corrupted with positivity, ending up presenting itself as another better practice, which it's not supposed to be. So, but for now it exists in the form of failure. And we also not supposed to know what the negative practice is, which is another subversive moment. Like you cannot teach it because you're not supposed to know what is it. But at least it's interesting. It's like something for those
Yeah.
to do who doesn't know and doesn't want to do anything else in particular.